Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to my kitchen. And today I'm going to do a little mini food demo for you. So, you guys know it's Black History Month and I like to talk about food and I like to cook food. And I think there's a little bit of myth and fact that get mixed up together. So, you know that like people are like, oh yeah, black people don't eat very healthy because like back in the day we only got the last bits of food and so we had to make do with what we had, the bits and pieces. And there are pieces of that are true. But the pieces that are untrue is that what you forget is that black slaves like ate off of the fields and they ate off of things like that. So they did eat a lot of like fresh greens and vegetables, which is where like things like collard greens and mustard greens come from. Now, for many of you guys who actually eat collard greens, you know that like basically you kind of cook the snot out of it. So you cook it and you cook it all day, and then usually people put like pork and all this kind of stuff in it. So I'm gonna basically show you a more healthy way to do some greens. So right here I have some collard greens, and then I have kale. Now kale might be foreign to you, but it is a green vegetable that you can use in place of things like collard greens, and it's really good for you. And you don't have to cook it as long. And it's a myth. You actually don't have to cook collard greens or mustard greens as long as well, which is why I have those, because I'm going to show you how. So right now I'm cutting up some onions and garlic, as you see here, right? And I have my pan going. It has just a little bit of olive oil in it. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this in. Here's the sizzle. So your pan should already be hot when you put the oil and stuff in. And you kind of just give that a stir, and you want to let that caramelize for a little bit. And the best thing to do is to season those things first. So don't over season. I like to use this like everyday seasoning mix. It's better than like seasoning salt because it's just like ground spices that you're grinding yourself. So I'll do that a few times in there. And for me, I like things to be spicy. So I have a little jalapeno, and I'm just going to cut a little bit of it here. And cut it nice and fine. I'm leaving the seeds in, but if you don't like hot things, if you take the seeds out, it will just add a little bit of flavor, but not too hot. So you take that, I'll go ahead and stick it in there as well. Boom, and you can, if you could smell this, you could see that it's smelling really good. Every good meal, when it comes to vegetables, should start with onions and garlic. And this will help you not have to put a lot of like fattening things in it. So I'm going to give that a little stir a little longer. And then I'm going to take my kale and cut it up. So I have it in a bunch. I roll it a little bit and I just start slicing. And make sure you keep your fingers out the way because that will suck. And you see I just slice it up nice and thin. And I go all the way to the stem. And these little stems are okay if they're in there. You can see that because it adds extra fiber. And it's good for you to put it all in there. And dark leafy green vegetables are pretty much just really great for you. You get calcium from them, lots of vitamins. So, and here's the key, and I'm going to tell you this, to keeping your vegetables and making it work, is that do not overcook your vegetables. So you don't need to cook them until they start to turn brown. They should stay their bright green color. So along with this kale, I'm going to add some carrots because basically you should add color to all your meals. As many different colors, meaning you're getting a variety of nutrients with it. So cut up, medium size, stick it in there. I've already washed all of these things. And then I'm also going to add some mushrooms. And I'm just slicing those. The other thing I have on the stove going right now is basically I'm just going to have these vegetables with a grain. And so I have brown rice that's cooking over here, which you can't see. So kale, sliced, it's nice and green. Boom, stick it in there. Give it a stir. I'm going to turn my stove down a little bit because it's a little high and we don't want to overcook it. And so you could just smell it. Be awesome. And then I'm actually going to take a few of these collard green leaves, nice and big, nice and green, and I'm going to add it to my mixture. And this I haven't rinsed, so I'm going to give it a quick rinse. And my mom, she used to like take collard greens and soak them a lot in like salt and supposed to get all the bugs off. But if you take just a leaf and rinse it well, you don't have to do all that extra soaking it. But I'm also not cooking for very many. I'm cooking just a little bit for myself. So I take these and I roll them again like I did the last one. Just makes them easier to manage. And I just go ahead and slice it up. Excuse me. So, quick chop. And finally, I'm going to go ahead and put those in there. See? Sorry, I have a little tickle in my throat. So, this video is probably going to be all of like a minute or so, or maybe 2. But in that time, all of my vegetables are cooked. So the onions are nice and caramelized. I'm going to do one more little sprinkle of this everyday seasoning mix. And a tiny bit of salt. See that? And give it a quick stir. And I'm going to go ahead and lift this up so you guys can see the color of these things. So, go ahead and check it out. Whoop, I'll turn this around for you. So, you can see that. It's nice and green. All the bright colors. Yep. And then, I'm going to dish it up. So, I'm turning off the stove, as you can tell. I have a little bowl here. You stick all those vegetables in there. Serve also a little bit of brown rice. There you go. Voila. So, eat your vegetables. Make sure you keep them nice and green, so don't overcook them. And enjoy. Don't believe the myths. Bye, YouTube. Thanks for watching.